but I'm a man. You're not gonna step to me like that. And then he was like, you're a liar. You're a wuss. And I said, ooh. Hey YouTube, welcome back to SIBZ, West Coast, East Coast Siblings, where we cover your favorite movies and TV shows. And tonight we are covering the Men Tell All episode of The Bachelorette. If you're new to the channel, like this video if you like this video, comment, subscribe, and click the bell so you can be notified of our coverage of all things movies and TV. Pretty in line with the season, this was a relatively boring Men Tell All episode. Now, I will note that Mike P was not there. I feel like there were a couple other guys who we've seen in the show that were not there in the Men Tell All. Who knows why? So, let's just get into it. Within the first couple of minutes of this episode, Michael A has a phone call with his son. His son says, why don't you want to see me anymore? And that just throws Michael A for a loop. Not that I'm a parent or anything, right? But I'm an adult. I've dealt with lots of babies. I freaking love kids. Kids say things that they don't really mean, and they don't really remember 30 seconds later, to be entirely honest. Obviously that hits Michael A in the gut because his wife recently passed away and he never wants his son to feel unwanted. But to me, it's like, okay, but you're doing something for your son's betterment. You're trying to find him a mother. And so if that means that you have to be away for a while and your son thinks that you don't like him, he's little, like you have plenty of years to make that up to him and make him know beyond a shadow of a doubt that that's not true. So to me, that was like kind of a little bit of a weak reasoning for leaving, but at the same time, like, you don't mess with people and their kids and how they feel about their kids. So I understand, whatever, Michael A, I get it. You know, you made that choice for your son. But to me, it's just like you can't make major life decisions for your child's betterment based off of how your child feels in the moment. But maybe that's just me. Katie is blindsided and is like, she starts spewing all these lies. This is one thing that I don't like about Katie. Every time a guy gets ready to leave for his own betterment, she starts saying things like, oh, I really saw us going all the way, or I really had so many other things to tell you, or this, that, and the other thing. And it's just kind of like, don't say that once the decision has been made. The same thing happened with Dearest Andrew. Girl, these men have made these decisions. I get it. You want to make how you feel about them clear, but at the end of the day, you need to respect their decision and stop trying to emotionally manipulate them. Maybe that's not Katie's intention, but I just think that was in poor taste for her to say all of those things while Michael A is crying about his kid and, like, you know, getting ready to head out. So I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about that. Maybe I'm just being too harsh. Other big highlights of the evening. Hunter admits that he did lie in saying that he didn't have a list of the top 4. But what he didn't lie about was when he said that he was falling in love with Katie. One of the drag queens asks him, are you in love with Katie? He says, no, I'm not in a position to say that right now. But then when asked on stage, someone says, are you falling in love with Katie? And he's like, yeah, I'm falling in love with her. Now, obviously, Brendan and James and Trey and their whole posse of bullies pretty much are like, that's BS, man. You can't be saying stuff like that. You lied. And Hunter's like, it's two different things to me. That's not what I meant. And then Connor B says, listen, he's my roommate and he was definitely falling in love with Katie. And that's that. What are you gonna do? You know, who really cares anymore because she sent him home anyway? Oh, speaking of Connor B, basically he is sat down with Tayshia and Caitlyn and they're discussing what happened, and he's like, I don't know, I keep going over my head like, what did I do wrong? But at the end of the day, there's nothing I can do. I can't change who I am. And unfortunately, we just didn't have any kind of spark. And then Caitlyn or Tayshia asks, has anyone ever told you that you're a bad kisser? And he starts like, yeah, well, I asked a bunch of my ex-girlfriends and they're like, I'm not a bad kisser. There's just no chemistry. Then some random chick from the audience is like, hi Connor, listen, I just wanted to say that, like, I really like you and I doubt that you're a bad kisser. So obviously all the guys are like, woo, 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 woo. Call homegirl up and Connor just lays one on her. She liked, and he's like, oh my gosh, I was actually checking you out. And then later on he's like, yeah, I'm actually gonna need your number. I said, ooh, Connor B throwing it down. Maybe he found his little kitty cat. A Mrs. Kitty. There's just no way to say that without it sounding nasty. Then in a conversation with Michael A flat out says, yes, I would 1,000% want another chance with Katie. There was never a problem in our relationship. It was just that my son needed me. The feelings are still there. I said, go ahead, Michael A, for just laying it out, just like telling it how it is, you know? Unfortunately, Katie's like, I've moved on. I have myself a man, but thank you. Andrew pretty much has the same sentiment that Michael, you know, it's not meant to be. And I really love that Andrew's like, I want to be chosen. That hasn't happened yet. at. And I'm like, bro, why are you feeling bad? Like, I am sure one of them biddies in the audience is gonna try to hunt you down and snatch you. Like, it's not even a question. Fret not, baby boo, you gonna find you a love. You gonna find you a love. My passion for Trey is waning. He's just always talking. He's always running his mouth about something or somebody. Oh, we rediscussed the Aaron and Cody drama that nobody cared about. I mean, shoot, I can't remember his name. Katie accidentally called Aaron Thomas. Awkward, but it makes sense. I'm so glad that somebody finally made the mistake and acknowledged that, like, one woman to remember 30 guys' names that are smiling at you and flirting with you, you're bound to forget a name, you know? So she totally did on live television, and while it was awkward, I think it was realistic, so good on you, Katie. Thomas shows up and he wanted some clarity. He didn't want Katie to think that he was disingenuous or anything like that, even though he totally was. Connor B sings a song nobody asked him to sing. They show the proposal of Caitlin's fiance to her. Do I remember her fiance's name? No. There wasn't much drama this season, so there wasn't much drama in the Men Tell All. Carl Still's trying to cover his behind, like he wasn't just being a wuss and being like, oh, well, you know, there are people who are here for the wrong reasons, Katie. Trey called him out. He was like, listen, before you said there were multiple people here, and now you're saying it was Thomas. There's just one person. Like, Carl was just making up a bunch of bull to be on TV. Bro, sit down. Bro, just sit down. Anyway, you guys, so that's all that happened in this week's episode of The Bachelorette. Next week, we have Hometowns, and then the season finale on August 9th, which is like, I don't know, 2 weeks away or something. I don't know. So that's all I have. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like it if you liked it. Subscribe, and let me know what you think. I mean, in the trailer for the next couple episodes, it looks like Greg is finally starting to crack, so we'll see. But I'm still calling Greg, even though he's being hyper emotional. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next week. Don't forget to check out my coverage of Gossip Girl. Okay. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.